Good morning and welcome to Championship Sunday from South Bend, Indiana, the Byers Softball Complex, and what a beautiful complex it is. My name is Chris Abbott and I will be with you today as we steer home the Good Ship National Championship. Presented by USA Softball here, having a great week. A little cooler this morning as we get set for a 9 a.m. local time start. The sun is high in the sky. We avoided the rain and it's amazing we're here, to be completely honest. Visiting team in this game, the Bear Creek Express. Callum Bichel leads things off. Yusuke Morita is batting second. Player number one, that's Ryuji Okawa. Luigi Pinto is in the cleanup spot. Ty Sebastian, Kynan Molander, Jack Burt, Tyrone Bartarillo, and Yusuf Davis will round out the order. Defensively, for the home team in this game, the Northeast Drillers, Jordan Solorio, Teo Migliavacca, and Riley Macchia in the outfield. Zach Shaw, Kotaro Yasumi up the middle, Blaine Milheim, Thomas Anoka on the corners. Juan Zara back behind the plate. And the starter this morning is the Argentine Matias Echeverres. The story here, the Northeast Drillers might be a little sleepy. They finished off last night just shy of 2:30 a.m. local time, a 10-inning come-from-behind win over the Kegel Black Knights. The Drillers were trailing 4-1 in the sixth inning when they got two 300-foot home runs from Riley Macchia and Thomas Anoka. Then Juan Zara hit the go-ahead home run, only to have the Black Knights tie it in the top of the seventh. We played extras for an hour or so, and I would say the Drillers are running on a maximum of 3 hours sleep as they take the field this morning. Conversely, the Bear Creek Express, a come-from-behind victory of their own over JDT First Energy last night, down 3-0 in the sixth. They exploded for 6 runs, highlighted by a David Galeno grand slam. That's across on the corner outside for a strike on Bichel. You'll notice when we flash the lineup for Bear Creek that the shortstop was not David Galeno. I saw on Instagram this morning he was at the airport. So Galeno had to get out of town, unfortunately, and that's a huge loss for the Bear Creek Express. An opportunity, though, for Kynan Molander, who draws into the lineup at second, and they have the luxury of having Ryuji Okawa at short. High hopper for Milheim, and he will not get this across the diamond in time. Desperation throw, and Callum Bichel is aboard with a single to start this game. Beautiful sunny sky here. Bichel pounds this into the ground. And Milheim knew he had to be quick, unable to get it across in time. So Yusuke Morita will step in. Morita had a big single in the sixth to help with that rally last night in the win over JDT, a game where Pami Matsuwaka was awesome through 5. He had 12 strikeouts, but started to lose control a little bit in the 5th, walked the first 2 batters in the 6th, and then after the Morita hit was pulled for Johnny Suriel, but Suriel could not get the job done. He walked Luigi Pinto to make it 3-2, and then Galeno had the big home run. Change up gets Morita out in front, 59 from Echeverres. This Driller staff looks like the Argentina national team. Noel Sainz, Huemel Mata, Matias Echeverres, all throwing to Juan Zara, the catcher from Argentina. And that one gets away, allowing Bichel to advance. And again, you've got to wonder, and I don't want to harp on it because they wouldn't make any excuses, but that's not one that Juan Zara usually misses. But when you're running on no sleep, it's just harder to concentrate and be at your best in there. Change up gets Morita swinging, and he goes down on strikes. That's a good spot for a changeup as well, tailing low and away.
Mr. Bat, shortstop number 14, Ryuji Okawa.
So Ryuji Okawa As I was saying before the hit by Bichel, not a bad second option at shortstop, one of the best shortstops in the world, who's been playing second base in deference to Galeno. It hasn't been a great week at the plate for Okawa. He does come in with a .333 average, but he's struck out a number of times. Shows bunt, doesn't offer, and it's a ball inside. Curveball on the ground. Milheim with time checks the runner across the diamond, and there's two away. Blaine Milheim called into action for the second time already, and he does a nice job here to look Bichel back to the bag, make a strong throw, and get the speedy Okawa at first. That'll bring Luigi Pinto to the plate. Pinto hit a moonshot to put the cherry on top of the cake last night. 8 runs in the last 2 innings for Bear Creek. And he takes first pitch high for ball 1. It was a high drop ball from Echeverse. Tough pitch to execute. And sometimes you see them left above the zone. Curveball over the inside corner. But I tell you what, when you can execute that high drop ball, it really messes with a hitter because it just, your brain tells you it's going to stay up and then it shoots down into the zone. Up and out. Umpires this morning, Jose Travis is behind the plate. David Lee's at first, Todrick Davis over at third. That drop ball just misses. And that's the appropriate call according to our flight scope data. Looked good to the naked eye. Pinto goes up and gets it. Migliavacca takes a few steps back. Now he's got to run in, and Teo Migliavacca can't come up with it. And that is going to be costly. Luigi Pinto ends up with an RBI double. Migliavacca's first step was back. The sun is high in the sky, and when he realized that it wasn't going deep, he can't recover. And Teo Migliavacca is as good as they get out there in center field. And that's not going to be an error, but an error in judgment. And the Bear Creek Express are on the board.
Batting number 8, Ty Sebastian.
So that'll keep the inning alive, and Ty Sebastian will come up with a runner in scoring position. Ty was the winning pitcher last night over JDT to propel the Express into this game this morning. First pitch from Echeverse is inside. Winner of this game will face the Bear Creek Gremlins in the final, coming up immediately following. If you're watching, you may wonder what happened to the Hill United Chiefs, who were in the winners bracket final. Hill United forfeited that game and then have forfeited the losers bracket final as well. So the path a little cleaner for the Gremlins to get to the final in a tournament that they have dominated over the years. So whoever wins this game will need to beat the Gremlins twice to hoist the trophy. Not out of the question. Carlos Parra gets the start for Bear Creek today. The Express, that is, looking to set up a rematch in the Derby. Big swing from Sebastian. Comes up empty. Two and two the count on the designated player for the Express. Drop ball outside. Inside curveball on the hands. Out to right field. Makia camps under it and makes the play. Bear Creek will get one across, though, in the top half of the first inning. A double by Luigi Pinto. And they're out to a lead in this loser's bracket final. So for the Northeast Drillers, here's the lineup. Teo Migliavacca leads things off. Kotaro Yasumi, Blaine Milheim, Riley Maki are the top four. Jordan Solorio out of Mexico in the 5 spot. Thomas Anoka, Juan Zara, David Diaz, and Zach Shaw will round out the order. Defensively for the visiting team, Bear Creek Express, it's the same as it's looked most of the week in the outfield. Yusuke Morita, Yusuf Davis, Kyle Bichel. As I mentioned, Ryuji Okawa moves over to short with Kynan Molander drawing in at second. Bartarillo and Pinto on the corners with Jack Burt doing the catching for 19-year-old Mexican superstar in the making, Carlos Parra. There's a look at the numbers for Parra. He's still riding high from the Pan American Championship. His team won over Teo Migliavacca and Argentina. And Parra had Migliavacca's number on that afternoon in Monteria, Colombia. Migliavacca comes in on the week. Still looking for his first hit. Parra hasn't thrown an overly amount of innings. Did not pitch yesterday, so he should be relatively fresh. Ty Sebastian did the whole staff a favor going 7 strong in the game last night. We've got an illegal pitch call on the first pitch from Parra. And he's wondering why. Keep an eye on his feet. It was called from first base. And now Jack Burt is going to come out for a conversation. Sliding ahead, I believe, and pushing off. I didn't see, to be honest, but I believe that was the indication given. Haven't had many illegal pitches called this week. That one deemed fine. Parra goes to his patented changeup and is now down 2-0 in the count. Drop ball inside corner at 80 miles an hour. Para at just 19 years old can absolutely fire the ball. Which makes his changeup all the more lethal. He has used it less this year than in past seasons. Been relying more on that devastating drop ball he's developed. And that one had a little curve on it back over the corner. Up and out. And the count's full on the leadoff hitter, Teo Migliavaca. Rise ball gets him. And Carlos Para doing Carlos Para things will get Migliavaca on the lifter. Working down most of the at-bat. And comes out and challenges with a rise ball for the strikeout. I'll bring in Kotaro Yasumi. Talked about Okawa playing shortstop for the Japanese national team. Well, Yasumi plays up the middle with him at second. They are competitors on the diamond this morning. And he swings at an outside pitch for strike one. Same pitch, same result. Yasumi hitting just .091 this week. 1 for 11. Foul. Staying alive, just getting a piece. Beautiful morning here in South Bend. A quiet Sunday morning. We've had so much action going on around us all week. 3 diamonds in play. All the focus on this diamond right now as this one gets away from Burt for ball one. Yasumi flares this down the left side, but it will fall foul as Morita retrieves it. I was watching the Drillers game last night after we had finished our broadcast of the Bear Creek Express JDT game. And Yasumi and Okawa were sitting behind the backstop. And Morita and Okawa were sitting by the backstop and giving it to their buddy Yasumi, who was in the batter's box. These guys have a lot of fun at the ballpark. Plenty of personality. Especially from Yusuke Morita. Always a big smile. Kind of devilish, that guy, I think. Always looking to get a rise out of people. Wind certainly howling again today as Yasumi chases upstairs. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the bottom of the first for Carlos Para. A good battle from Kotaro Yasumi, but eventually he will chase a rise ball. That was out of the zone
Freshman
for
double
strike three.
zero, Blaine Milheim.
So Milheim, big part of the comeback win last night. We'll look to get things started here in the bottom of the first. Blaine hitting at a .375 clip here this week. Got a delay here. They want the kind of the cleat scraper mat for the back of the mound. We did have a ton of rain about 24 hours ago here, and still a little bit of mud coming up from the pitcher's mound. So Parra wants to clean his cleats off. Drop ball low, and Milheim spits on it. Carlos Parra struck out Migliavaca, then struck out Yasumi. But he's fallen behind 3-0 on Blaine Milheim. Milheim, green light, 3-0. Saw one that he liked. A low rise ball, but fouled it away. Pardon me, that was a drop ball. And Parra will lose him. Two-out walk worked by Blaine Milheim, and that'll bring it around to the very, very dangerous Riley Macchia. Last night in the comeback, Macchia hit one about 320 feet. A two-run shot with Milheim on base, with his team down 4-1 in the sixth. And that sparked a 4-run sixth inning for the Drillers. Look out. Macchia has to get out of the way. Big hack coming up empty. I'll tell you what, Parra is not working very quickly out here today. He would be in trouble in a pitch clock environment. Rise ball snagged by Jack Burt. Good to see Burt back in there. Pinto has caught the last couple of games for the Express. Burt took 2 balls off his throwing hand in behind the plate back on Friday. Inside drop ball, Macchia with a power swing, comes up empty. Then again, pretty much every swing for Macchia is a power swing. Just gets an absolute explosion off that back leg through the hips. Runner's going. And it's fouled back. Milheim on the move again, and Jordan Solorio comes very close to getting hit with that foul ball. He thought he was in a safe space. Macchia gets into this one. You can forget about it. Riley Macchia with his second home run in as many games. And just like that, the Drillers ahead 2-1. You are never safe with Riley Macchia at the plate, and he shows why. A 2-strike home run to deep center field. That one is flat out of the hand from Parra, and you don't want to make that mistake to Macchia. Sends it about 275
Number 21,
to right center. So an inning that started very promising for Carlos Parra. With 2 strikeouts, he walks Milheim, and then Macchia makes him pay. So I'll bring up Jordan Solorio. He's Parra's teammate with the Mexican national team. And Parra misses inside and low. Off the end of the bat, charging is Molander, and he'll make the play on to first and end the inning. Jordan Solorio just got it off the end of the bat. Molander has to charge it, though, and he makes it look easy. 2-1 Drillers after 1 coming up for the Express. It will be Molander, Burt, and Barterillo.
Oh, you don't work in the morning?
Leading off the Bear Creek, number 22, Keenan Molander.
Kind of Molander has not had much in the way of playing time this week with Okawa and Galeno up the middle. Been used primarily as a runner. But the young Aussie is getting a look here in a big spot this morning. In fact, this is his first plate appearance of the week. On the ground out to short, tough hop, and making it look easy over there, Zach Shaw for the first out. That kind of skipped up on Shaw after the second bounce. Right here. And he does well to come up with it. On over to first. Speaking of young Aussies, here's Jack Burt.
Next batter, number 12, Jack Burrow.
Jack skies the first pitch he sees. Macchia drifting over toward the line, and quickly there's 2 out in the top of the second inning. So with 2 out, Tyrone Bartorillo will step in. Bartorillo didn't play in the game last night, as Cody Panabecker was at third base. Bartorillo swings himself out of his arm pad, his elbow pad. That's a good spot from Etchevers. And he's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Plenty of pitches at his disposal now with Bartorillo in a hole. And he stays alive, fouling this one off in the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, you too. We're running a little late. Huh? Where would you go?
We've got some fans pulled up next to the backstop, sitting next to our microphones, as you may have heard.
Yeah.
But a nice sunny day here this morning in South Bend after a fully overcast day yesterday. Great conditions for softball. Maybe a little more wind than the players would like, but otherwise, perfect. Etchevers goes up top. Bartorillo leaves it. Quick break as the ball comes back into play. That was fouled off a minute ago. Off the top of the bat, slow roller back to Etchevers, and he'll send it on over. A changeup. That got Bartorillo out in front, and it's a quick 3-up, 3-down inning on the mound for Matthias Etchevers. We'll go to the bottom. Northeast Drillers leading by 1.
That game over there. Leading off with Drillers, number 20, Thomas Anoka.
Thomas Anoka wants our David Diaz. Will hit for the Drillers in the bottom of the second. Leading 2-1 on a Riley Macchia blast back in the first inning. I was talking about that comeback win. Macchia with a big home run to start it, and then Thomas Anoka hit one about the same place, also more than 300 feet, as the Drillers flexed their muscle. A game that wasn't streamed. It was played on the third diamond because of the rain and rescheduling yesterday. And it was too bad because it was a good one, although, like I said, it ended between 2:15 and 2:30 in the morning, so not sure how many people would have still been with us. Although for Thomas's fans in New Zealand, it would have been prime time, afternoon, evening. If you were with us earlier in the week, one of the things I said about Thomas Anoka is he might not, blow the doors off every time he's up there, but if he comes up in a clutch situation, there's nobody else you want at the plate. That's been my assessment over the years of watching him play. He gets locked in and is as good as anybody. He's hitting .250 here in South Bend this week. Now we've got a conversation behind the plate with our umpire director involved as well. And I'm not sure if this is about illegal pitches again, but it's rare for this to happen. So it's about the placement of the cleat cleaning device. Obviously, you see them in Major League Baseball a lot, and they lie in the back of the mound where they're not going to be in play. And now this is about the placement and where it should be, directly behind the pitcher, I suppose. And so that's what the conversation is here to the bottom right of your screen. And we're not privy to it, but I can tell you that's what it is about. And now Jack Burt has brought it over to the driller's dugout, and I guess it's been deemed non-compliant. And Carlos Parra will have to deal with the mud in his cleats, the old-fashioned way. All right, looks like everybody is satisfied, or at least are going to deal with it. Whether they're satisfied or not is another question. 3-1 the count on Thomas Anoka as he leads off the bottom of the second inning for the Northeast Drillers. He gets into this one. This is high and deep, but short of the fence, and Yusuke Morita will be there to make the play. Good drive from Thomas Anoka, but you can see he couldn't quite get extended for that extra 15 feet or so he would have needed for it to clear the fence.
Next batter, number 6, Juan Zara.
So Juan Zara will step in. He hit the third of the 3 home runs in the 6th inning comeback last night. His didn't go over the 300-foot fence, but it was still a no-doubter. Parra comes set. Zara hits the drop ball out towards Molander at second, and he'll make the play after ranging to his right. That fell off the table. Zara did well to make contact there. Molander, couple of steps, stops, plants, and gets the out.
Brings up number 34, David Diaz.
So this is an interesting matchup between David Diaz and Carlos Parra. They're part of the youth movement for Mexico. Both competed for their club at the U23 World Cup earlier this year, where they played against New Zealand in the bronze medal game. A game, unfortunately, where Liam Potts was injured on the other side. They're going to check that down at first base, and in self-defense, Diaz does swing. Yeah, that's a great look at it. He goes hard inside again. So if anybody knows the weaknesses of David Diaz, it would be Carlos Parra. And it seems he believes that the inside drop ball is the best place to attack him. Diaz, a very, very capable middle infielder in his own right. Much like Molander, a young guy trying to crack in. He's got Zach Shaw and Kotaro Yasumi in front of him on the depth chart here with the Drillers. Time is called.
Back up. No, I'm good. Stay to the end last night? Yeah. Huh? Was 2 o'clock?
That's up on Diaz for a ball.
No.
Diaz, what a play by Okawa, but unable to come up with the pick is Pinto at first. Oh man, Ryuji Okawa goes into the hole and comes up with it, but bounces the throw. And for the second inning in a row with 2 outs, the Drillers will get a man aboard. Again, Parra leaves that one a little bit flat. And a tough play for Pinto. He can't come up with it. So Zach Shaw in the 9 spot. Low rise, outer half. And Parra takes a little walk because I think he's leaving the ball a little flatter than he would like. A couple of times here already in this game. It's a bit better rise ball, but it's out of the zone. Shaw leaves it there. Drop ball. Gets Shaw looking outside on the first 2 pitches, then busts him inside. Good sequence from Parra and Burt. Runner goes, but all for naught as Shaw swings through the rise ball to end the inning. So this time Parra will work around the 2-out base runner, getting the U.S. men's national team player Zach Shaw to swing through that rise ball. 2 innings in the books. It's the Northeast Drillers 2, the Bear Creek Express 1. Here on Sunday morning in South Bend.
That's good. Drillers, Bear Creek,
Be out there. Nobody.
Bear Creek, number 28, Seth Davis.
Yusuf Davis will lead things off for Bear Creek in the top half of the third inning. It was Davis who got the rally started last night, earning a leadoff walk, one of 11 batters to the plate in that sixth inning for Bear Creek. Look out! And somehow that didn't hit Yusuf Davis. He's smiling, so it's all good. Man. By the way, if you don't follow Yusuf Davis on Instagram, I'd recommend it. He's a very creative guy. He was wearing some Meta glasses during the warm-up on Friday with Bear Creek. He caught some really interesting footage. Photographer is one of the things he does when he's not at the ball field. High drop ball from Echevers is still up when it crosses the plate. Davis will swing at the outside pitch, knowing he couldn't do much with it, and fouls it away. And Echevers is going for a little walk out to second base. Looks like his back is a little bit tight. And while he wasn't pitching late in the game last night, he was still there. Probably didn't get a lot of sleep. And maybe the back a little tight this morning. So Davis will wait. So 2-2 the count on Yusuf Davis, leadoff man here in the third inning. And acts as a kind of that double leadoff down in the 9 spot. In his career, he's spent a lot of time at 1 or 9 in the lineup. Very unique, useful player. Oftentimes setting the table for the top of the order. Chase is outside. Slow roller toward first that takes a sharp right halfway down the line. I think that was certainly going to be a ball. It was well off the plate. But with 2 strikes, Yusuf felt it was a little too close. High and tight, ball 4, leadoff man aboard for Bear Creek for the second time in 3 innings. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. A good at-bat in the 9 spot, turning it over for Callum Bichel at the top of the order.
Next batter, number 27, Cal Bichel.
Bichel singled to shortstop to start the game, or third base rather, on a high chopper to Milheim. Shows bunt, turns back, and Zara does well to keep that from going to the screen. Shows bunt again, offers at it, and fouls it away. Etchever set and delivers and gets Bichel swinging over a drop ball. Davis, good speed at first. Wouldn't be out of the question to see him in motion here. And that's caught on the fly, and Davis will get doubled off at first base. A kind of slow line drive back to Etchevers as Bichel reaches for the rise ball. And if you got a stiff back, that would either help it or hinder it, that's for sure. Either stretched it out or bothered it. Regardless, a quick double play, and now Morita to the plate with 2 down.
Number 19, Sophie Morita.
Morita struck out in his first plate appearance back in the first. Now 4 for 13. Leaves the changeup low. You can feel both teams are a little lethargic here at a 9 a.m. start. Morita turns on the rise ball, slaps it into right, thinks about heading for 2, but he'll throw on the brakes. So a 2-out single for Yusuke Morita. That caught too much of the zone for a good hitter like Morita. But as I was saying before that, an early start, the Drillers especially not a lot of sleep, and it would have been after midnight likely before Bear Creek got themselves back to the hotel and into bed. Well, it was, yeah. They never finished their game until about 12:30 by the time they got off the field. So by the time you eat, get to bed, you're probably pushing 2 a.m. for them as well. And then to get here and get prepared for a 9 a.m. start, you're likely out of bed around 6:30 to get here for 7:30, 8 o'clock. So certainly advantage Gremlins, as they did not even play yesterday and are sitting back waiting for the winner of this one. And again, Juan Zara has to come up out of the crouch to keep the ball from getting to the screen. He's protected Etchevers a few times from keeping the runners moving up. Gets Okawa swinging. He didn't realize that Zara dropped it, and Juan will toss on down to Thomas Anoka at first to end the inning. Okawa frustrated with himself, you could see there. Didn't even realize that the ball had gotten away. Nothing across for Bear Creek in the third. We'll go to the bottom, top of the order, due up for the Drillers.
I have an excuse. I was here at 3 o'clock. What about you?
75 years old.
Well, 75 years old, 7 o'clock.
Enter for the drill. For 59, Dale, Bickley, and Lock.
Back to the top of the order, Teo Migliavacca in the bottom of the third inning, as he looks to get right here on a Sunday in a week where the offense has not been his strong suit. We know he's got it in him, that's for sure. Watches the first pitch rise ball. Shows bunt and leaves the changeup out and down. So Parra has fallen behind. 2-1, the 2 runs coming off a Riley Macchio home run. He's due up 4th this inning. Back in the first, Parra got Migliavacca and Yasumi on strikes before walking Blaine Milheim, setting up the 2-run home run. Glad to have you with us wherever you're tuning in from this morning in the Western Hemisphere, this afternoon, this evening in Europe or Asia, Oceania. Softball premiere worldwide in conjunction with USA Softball TV this week. 3-1 count on Migliavacca. And he takes a rise ball high for ball 4. And for the first time today, the Drillers will get the leadoff man on.
Next batter, number 2, Nationale.
So, if I was a betting man, I would say that Kotaro Yasumi will be looking to bunt, and that is the same thing that Tyrone Bartorillo is thinking, as he is 25 feet in front of third base already. Yasumi shows bunt, takes the pitch high for ball 1. Yasumi normally bats in this spot with the Japanese national team as well, and he's very good at playing small ball. A phenomenal second baseman as well. I know we haven't had the opportunity to see him defensively in this game, but here's hoping we do. Migliavacca gets a lead, and it's strike 1 on Yasumi. Both corners crashing. Expect to see it again. Gotta be careful. Yasumi could poke one out. Runner goes. Straight steal is on, and Migliavacca never makes it to second base. Jack Burt comes up throwing. Ryuji Okawa applies the tag. And the leadoff walk is erased. That's a good throw from Burt. Nice play from Okawa to go get it. And Migliavacca, and as I said, never ever made it into second base. Out, caught stealing. Yasumi stays alive by flaring a foul. Rise ball's up, and it's a full count. There's a payoff pitch from Carlos Parra. Drop ball gets Yasumi swinging. And now there's 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Yasumi goes down swinging for the second time today.
Next batter, number 0, Blaine Milheim.
So same spot Milheim was in the first inning. Up with 2 down and nobody on. And he's going to flare this out over second base, and Blake Milheim is aboard with a single. First pitch swinging on a curveball out of the hand of Carlos Parra. Tried to cut it back in, and he did all right. Caught a lot of the plate. So just like the first inning, Riley Macchia comes up with Milheim on first. Looking down in the Bear Creek bullpen, I can see Liam Potts is throwing, getting loose. Got to be very, very careful with Macchia here, because he could make this 4-1 in a hurry, as we've already seen today. Macchia, one of two New Zealanders in the lineup for Northeast Drillers, of course, along with Thomas Anoka. And they're being very, very careful with him right now. Jordan Solorio is on deck. That just misses as well. Another curveball from Parra. Curveball in at 72. His drop ball at 80. And his changeup will come in the 60s. But again, haven't seen him use the changeup a ton. When he was a little bit younger, pitching at the U18 level, he used it multiple times per at-bat, and nobody could still hit it. There it is. It's his best pitch, and he goes to it 3-0. Got to think Macchia had the green light there. You can see how he throws it. He kind of rolls it off his back hip. It looks a lot different than his rise ball and drop ball. And that rise ball is out of the zone. Macchia takes a walk. And I think the Bear Creek Express are okay with that result. So now 2 on for Jordan Solorio.
Next batter, number 21, Jordan Solorio.
He grounded out to Kynan Molander last time around. That ended the first inning. First pitch well out of the zone to Solorio. You see Solorio's view of the park. A beautiful facility. Lots of big trees around. On the ground again to Molander, and he will corral it, step on the bag, and end the inning. Molander was playing up the middle, well positioned, and is able to get to this ball off the bat of Jordan Solorio and step on the bag ahead of Macchia. So they'll get 2 on, but nothing across. After 3 complete, Northeast Drillers 2, Bear Creek Express 1.
Again, the 3 Northeast Drillers still leading 2-1. Kevin. Kevin.
4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Bear Creek here in the fourth. Luigi Pinto, Ty Sebastian, and Kynan Molander. Pinto drove in the only Bear Creek run in this game, a fly ball to center field that Teo Migliavaca misjudged. Ended up going as a double for Pinto. On the ground is short. Milheim cuts across, and that is the best play right there. Blaine Milheim makes the first out of the inning off the first pitch. It was a slow roller out towards Zach Shaw, and Milheim, with a much more direct path to the ball, across makes the play.
Next batter, number 8, Ty Sebastian.
So that'll bring in Ty Sebastian, designated player. He flew out to Makia in right to end the first inning. Takes a drop ball down for ball one. That nearly hits Sebastian, and the count's 2-0. And now 3-0. As Echevers has thrown 3 consecutive drop balls that have missed the zone against Sebastian. Inside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk will put Sebastian on with just 1 down here in the top of the 4th inning.
Next batter, number 22, Kynan Molander.
So I'll bring in Kynan Molander. He grounded out to Zach Shaw in his first plate appearance in the second. Tries to get down a bunt, but decided it a little bit late and not the best attempt. And it's no balls and a strike. In on the hands, flared foul, and Molander's down, no balls and 2 strikes. Matthias Echevers on the mound for the Northeast Drillers. Grabs the rag. Gets a little tack on his hands. And will attack Molander. Nice pitch, outside drop ball, called strike 3. And Molander's now 0 for 2. Right at the knees. So that'll bring it around to Jack Burt's spot in the order, but we will get a pinch hitter. Alan Salgado will pinch hit here. And I'm wondering if after that we will see Luigi Pinto go in behind the plate. Because I don't know that they'd want to lose Salgado's bat at this point in the game. So we'll see how that's handled going forward. But Salgado a power threat. First pitch swinging, and he just missed it. Goes for a foul ball, strike 1. Salgado had a big walk-off home run a couple of days ago in extra innings against the Sandlot Merchants. Tell you what, Sandlot put on a good show here this week. They made life difficult on a lot of teams. Didn't care that they didn't have the big names with them. It was very impressive. Rise ball gets Salgado swinging. 0-2. Ty Sebastian, the runner at first, drew a one-out walk. And Salgado's going to send this foul down the right field line. Likely would have scored Sebastian as it was tailing toward the corner. But it's just a strike. So Salgado back in will have to protect against the 0-2 count. Inside drop ball, and he'll swing over it. So the pinch hitter, Salgado, goes down on strikes to end the inning. Good pitch from Echevers. We're off to the bottom of the fourth. Anoka, Zara, Diaz coming up.
What's that? I wish. I was. Absolutely. I don't think I went to bed, to be honest with you. I feel like that anymore.
Being on the road, number 20, Thomas Anoka.
So Jack Burt will re-enter the game. Salgado out to end the inning. So here's Thomas Anoka. He hit a deep fly ball in his first at-bat. And that's a great spot by Carlos Parra. To get ahead in the count. Leaves the rise ball up. Parra didn't like that pitch nor his landing spot as he quickly snapped his head back around after missing with an outside rise ball. Drop ball misses outside. 3-1 the count on Thomas Anoka. And he'll leave a rise ball up and out. So a leadoff walk for the second inning in a row issued by Carlos Parra. And that'll bring Juan Zara to the plate.
Next batter, number 6, Juan Zara.
Zara taking some extra time to get the signs. A 1-run lead. They could play some small ball here. They won't. And it's a rise ball outside, ball 1. That's a better spot from Parra. Nibbles on the outside of the corner with a low rise ball. Chris Abbott here with you from South Bend, Indiana, the Byers Softball Complex. Losers bracket final. Winner will play the Bear Creek Gremlins next in a game slated for 11 a.m. local time. It'll probably be a little bit later than that. As Zara takes a changeup for strike 2. And watch a rise ball out of the zone. David Diaz is the designated player. He's on deck. And leaves another rise ball up. Full count pitch from Carlos Parra, and he'll do it again. And again, Parra goes for a little walk. He's not getting the spins he wants consistently here. Skied into short right field. Cal Bischel tracking in and makes the play. So Parra sticks with it and gets a pop-up from Juan Zara for the first out. And time is called, and I think that could be it for Carlos Parra. They're going to come get him. So maybe we were not the only ones who noticed that he wasn't getting the spin he wanted on his pitches. That's going to do it. So with one out here in the fourth, we're going to get a pitching change. And we'll take a break. You're watching the 2026 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship Softball Premiere and USA Softball TV.
Pitcher for Bear Creek, number 11, Liam Potts. Number 36, David Diaz.
So Liam Potts comes out of the bullpen with 1 out and 1 on here in the bottom half of the 4th inning to face David Diaz. Potts certainly gives you a different look coming at you from the left side, but if Bear Creek can keep this lineup together, I mean, 2 of the best young throwers in the game, both Potts and Para, at the U23 World Cup earlier this summer. Potts started the World Cup final in the senior men's division for New Zealand last year. He's one of the bright young stars in this game. Diaz has to duck away. Talking about that U23 World Cup, Potts and Para faced each other, or at least were supposed to, in the bronze medal game, and Potts got injured warming up. It was actually disappointing because New Zealand couldn't recover that day in what could have been an all-timer. On the ground is short. Okawa, oh my God, what a play. And they can't turn it, but let's focus on Ryuji Okawa going deep in the hole and in one motion catching, throwing perfectly for the out. Molander just a heartbeat away from turning the double play, but that's as good as it gets defensively. Ryuji Okawa, my goodness.
Next hitter, number 9, Zach Shaw.
Zach Shaw, first pitch changeup from Potts, and he's just into the game, but he's looking dialed right now. A changeup that also dropped almost 8 inches. Potts and Shaw would have seen each other as well last year at the Men's World Cup Final in Prince Albert, despite the fact that they're also meeting regularly on this circuit. So not a lot of secrets between these teams. They play each other a lot. The players, I guess. Maybe not the teams always as much, as they play in different tournaments throughout the summer, many of the same ones. But you've got 2 rosters littered with players who also represent their country. In fact, I believe everybody in both starting lineups, yes, on a national team. Change up, and Shaw will swing and miss for strike 3. Couple of real nice change-ups from Liam Potts that inning. And he works around the walk issued by Para with some help from his defense and some help from his changeup. We're off to the top of the 5th. Barbarillo, Davis, and then back to the top for Bichel coming up for the Bear Creek Express.
In the full Northeast Grill Committee at Bear Creek.
So same sponsor, and then the same sponsor also sponsors the JVT team. In his bag, grab the required elements to start getting loose. And it's first pitch strike at the knees on a low rise ball. All the scoring in this game came back in the first inning. Bear Creek with 1 in the top, the Drillers with 2 in the bottom. And we've been stuck at that scoreline since. On the ground on the right side, great play, Yasumi. And then adjust to make a perfect throw. That is hard to do, folks, when you're doing a 360. Your head is going in a different direction, so your eyes have to pick up the first baseman, and that's just muscle memory. Perfect throw onto Anoka. So we saw Okawa at short last inning, Yasumi at second this inning, and that's exactly what I was telling you about with these Japanese infielders. Outstanding softball.
Yusuf Davis.
So here's Yusuf Davis. He walked and was stranded, or actually picked off on a double play in the third. Echever's letting it go at 80 still, 5 innings into this one. Well, 4 1/3, I suppose. That's a good pitch. Inside drop ball. Davis couldn't pull the trigger. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Yusuf Davis on 3 pitches. The last one, an outside rise ball from Matthias Echevers.
Next batter, number 27, Cal Beaslow.
That's a great look at it right there. Echevers has retired 4 in a row and 6 of the last 8 batters he's faced. Colin Bieshel hit a soft liner back to the mound. The front half of that double play I just referenced a moment ago. Drop ball for a ball. We're 90 minutes into this one in South Bend. Playing in the top of the 5th inning. Good spot under the hands. Bieshel scored the only run for Bear Creek in this game after singling to lead off the top of the first.
Really go white. Okay. But they're not eating. Okay.
Echevers takes his time, comes set, and throws a rise ball up and out of the zone. Misses again. Bieshel with some good eyes, working himself back in this count. 3-2 now on the express right fielder. Slow roller on the ground, tough play. Milheim gets it done across the diamond. So the first 3-up, 3-down inning since the second for Echevers. Thanks in part to a nice play here by Blaine Milheim on a slow roller. He's got to charge it, throw across his body, and Anoka holds the bag. Nothing to cross. Due up in the bottom of the 5th inning will be the top of the order, Migliavaca, Yasumi, and Blaine Milheim.
Well, you knew I was up here. You didn't bring me up here.
Leading off, Tail, Migliavacca.
Sir, you're only 75? What?
Back underway. Liam Potts starts Teo Migliavacca off with a pitch up and out of the zone. Went back to the changeup he's had so much success with. Then a rise ball that misses. 2-0 on Migliavacca. He worked a walk his last time and then was caught stealing. Jack Burt with a great throw. And on the receiving end, Ryuji Okawa with an athletic tag. Inside drop ball. That's a good spot for Liam. In the background there, you can see Greg Leather, the Bear Creek Gremlins brass, as they're scouting out their opponent coming up in the championship. A tournament that the Gremlins take a lot of pride in. Of course, they formerly were a team out of New York, have since switched their domicile to Ontario, Canada. Change-up gets Migliavacca swinging. And Potts has gone to that a number of times, and why not? It's been very, very good. It's almost got like a knuckle action on it. Very little spin. So 0 for 2, Kotaro Yasumi. He won't be sad that Carlos Parra is out of the game. First pitch swinging. Floater out to short, and Okawa not in time to get the speedy Yasumi. He floats one out to his buddy at shortstop. Okawa thought about catching it on the fly and couldn't have done this any better. And it's bang bang at first. But Yasumi's called safe. So 1 on and 1 out for Blaine Milheim. Starts him off with a changeup, and Milheim leaves it in the dirt. Blaine 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Singled and stranded back in the third. That one's judged up. We've already seen the speed of Yasumi. Could he potentially be on the move? On the ground to third, Bartarillo, to Molander for 1, across the diamond for 2. Double play to get out of the inning. 5-4-3. Taylor made. One hopper chest high for Bartarillo. Perfect gather, toss. Molander wastes no time. You can't draw it up any better than that across the diamond. That'll end the threat. We'll head to the top of the 6th. 2-3-4 coming up for the Express.
Hey everybody, we got a special
announcements make here. We have a special highlight of the night here. Celebrity in the stands. Special shout out to Dean Hubbard for the support. He is present with his brother and his local basketball team.
Leading off for Bear Creek, number 19, Yusuke Morita.
2-3-4. Yusuke Morita will lead things off. Morita's 1 for 2, single to right field last time, and this is the third time through the order now for Echevers. Wemomata appears to be loose and lurking around, should they call his number. On the ground is short. This is going to be a tough play for Zach Shaw. In time. Some excellent defensive play on the infield on both sides in this game. Morita slashes this to the left side. Shaw comes around the ball, has to throw from down under, and gets Morita at first.
Next batter, number 14, Okawa.
Speaking of good shortstop play, here's Ryuji Okawa. Okawa grounded out to third and struck out in his first 2 appearances. Takes a drop ball for a strike. High drop ball on Okawa, and he's looking back saying, I'm not very tall, you know. Haven't heard a whole lot of planes going overhead this week, but there's one. That's a drop ball in the outside corner. Nice pitch. And Okawa has to take a second to think about it. One of the things I've noticed with Okawa over the years is that if he has a call go against him, you can see in his body language that it kind of takes him out of the at-bat. And see if he's able to rein it back in. Another outside pitch, and he fouls it away, a rise ball. Another outside dipper gets Okawa swinging. And he's 0 for 3. Echevers has certainly had his number.
Next batter, number 3,
That actually caught more of the middle of the plate than it first appeared. So 2 down, Luigi Pinto, who's 1 for 2, has driven in the only Bear Creek run. And the Express are running out of outs here, just 4 to work with. It was late in the game last night when they got themselves right. And that's a nasty changeup from Echevers for strike 1. Winner of this game plays the Bear Creek Gremlins in the championship. Gremlins have a double life. As Pinto looks to send a rise ball for a home run but can't catch up to it. Not many events anymore where you see the old double life for an undefeated team. Frankly, I love it. Love the tradition. You should get something for going through undefeated. Haven't seen the lineup yet. I would presume Jack Besgrove will start, but Kuba Osichka has been very good for them as well. This is a slow roller out in front of the plate. Zara avoids the bat and then throws the ball into the outfield. Uncharacteristic error from Juan Zara. This is an odd play to begin with. The bat nearly hits the ball. It doesn't. And then that's nowhere close. E2 will put Pinto on. And we'll get a pinch runner for Luigi Pinto.
Next batter, number 8, Sebastian.
Coming on to run, Chase Konechny. Brings some more speed on the base pass than Pinto. And Pinto's banged up as well. He's been dealing with some foot issues. First pitch to Sebastian's a called strike, and Ty looks back. Wasn't quite sure of that call. It was close. They move outside now. 1-1 the count on the Canadian slugger. Ty flew out to right and then walked in his last appearance in the 4th. That's low for a ball. Two and one hitters count for Ty Sebastian. After that last throw from Zara, I might be inclined to put a runner in motion here. Drop ball in for a strike. 2-2. Echeverria looks down. Gets the signal. I'm not sure that was it. Missed inside and low, and the count's full, so now Konechny will certainly be off. Big gap in left center between Solorio and Migliavacca, if Sebastian could ever put one there. Inside drop ball. It probably was ball 4, but Sebastian will swing past it and end the inning. One more look at this one. Cut in and fell away. Nice pitch from Echeverria. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. The Drillers looking for some insurance. Riley Macchia, Jordan Solorio, and Thomas Anoka are due up.
For Northeast, number 99, Riley Macchia.
Riley Macchia has driven in both runs for the Northeast Drillers in this game with a home run back in the 1st inning. He was walked unintentionally in his next at-bat, and this is high and deep, and it might have enough. No, camping under it is Yusuf Davis. It certainly had the height, but Makia gets under it just a touch. Davis went all the way back toward the fence and then cut in, calling off Morita at the last minute. And made the catch about 20 feet in front of the fence. That's a big out for Liam Potts.
Number 21, Jordan Solero.
Jordan Solorio, 0 for 2. First pitch is inside and a little up. Again, Potts in with the changeup. He's thrown pretty much one every at-bat on average, sometimes more. .70-mile-an-hour drop ball. Solorio pounds it into the dirt and is down 1-2 in the count. Drillers looking to get a little insurance before they head to the 7th. Another changeup, and that's flared away. For the Bear Creek Express, in the 7th inning, due up, Molander, Burt, and Bartarillo. We mentioned they're playing without David Galeno today, who had to leave this morning. So their bench in terms of pinch hitters is a little limited. They've still got Panabecker over there. Solorio chases a rise ball, and Liam Potts has his third strikeout of the game.
Next batter, number 20, Thomas Anoka.
That's a good pitch right there in a big spot. So it'll be Thomas Anoka. 0 for 1 with a walk. Thomas taking all the way on the first pitch. That is inside. And Anoka seems to be very comfortable in the box against Liam Potts here. 2 balls and no strikes, and he has identified the pitch each time before Potts has let it go. And maybe he's waiting for that changeup. He got one there, but it wasn't in the zone. Or pardon me, it was in the zone, but not where he was looking for it. Caught the bottom of the zone. A rise ball, and Anoka frustrated with himself because after all the hard work, he fouls off a pitch that he did not want to take his bat off his shoulder from. And it's 2-2. That's well up out of the zone. Never a strike, and Anoka will leave it for ball 3. Another change-up, and this will not roll back fair. I mean, if I'm Potts, I'm probably throwing it again. It's been his best pitch in this game. Either that or a rise ball out of the zone. You don't want to walk him. Let's see what they go with here. He does go back to the changeup, and it will miss upstairs. Thomas Anoka works his second walk of the morning.
Number 6, Wanzara.
So I'll bring up the 0 for 2 Wanzara. Zara, a big home run in last night's game in the win over the Kegel Black Knights to put the Drillers in this position. It was the go-ahead run at the time. The Knights tied it in the 7th, and eventually in 10 innings, the Drillers were victorious. If you weren't with us at the start of this game, the Drillers going on probably a maximum of 3 hours sleep. Obviously, the adrenaline has kicked in now. It was a little bit of a sleepy start for them, but a big home run by Riley Makia got them awake and going in this one. Another changeup from Potts. And Zara fouls it away. Zara with a ground out and a fly out in his first 2 at-bats. On the ground is short. Okawa will take it himself and step on the bag. So that'll do it for the Drillers here in the bottom of the 6th. They will carry a 1-run lead to the 7th. And we'll see if Etchevers comes back to finish it off or if it will be Huemo Mata coming in for the save. It is Etchevers making his way back to the mound. And we'll be right back after this with the top of the 7th. Back here, top of the 7th inning, Bear Creek looking to pull off a comeback. And they will attempt that at first with a pinch hitter. Cody Panabecker will come off the bench to hit in the spot of Kynan Molander. Etchevers is back on the mound, but Huemo Mata is throwing with intent should he get in any trouble. It's been a real good game for Etchevers so far. He allowed 2 hits in the first, another in the third, and that was the last hit for Bear Creek. A Morita single back in the 3rd inning. He walked Davis in the 3rd. He walked Sebastian in the 4th. And Pinto reached on an error last inning. But since the 1st inning, Bear Creek has not had a runner advance past first base. Strike called and an outside drop ball. Oh, nice pitch. A changeup. It was inside, but it caught everybody off guard, including Panabecker. It just wasn't a strike. He comes back with a drop ball, and it's fouled away. Zara thought that was a strike, came up ready to throw it to third. Let's take another look at that pitch. It was close. Full count on Panabecker. That's going to be strike three. Swing and a miss on the drop ball. 1 out. Matthias Echeverse hitting his spots. And Panabecker down on strikes.
Re-enter 24. Re-enter 24.
So if you're not familiar with the USA softball rules, even substitutes are able to re-enter. So Alan Salgado pinch hit for Jack Burt back in the 4th. Burt re-entered the game behind the plate, and now Salgado is allowed to come back in and hit for him one more time. So the hiccup is that in a lot of jurisdictions, if a substitute comes into the game, they cannot re-enter. Only starters. Not the case in the rule book here. Just a little wrinkle, that's different. But quickly, Salgado down 0-2 in the counts. He struck out his first time up. And he strikes out this time as well. 2 quick strikeouts by Matthias Echeverse to get himself in a position to end this game.
Number 46, Tyrone Barbarello.
It's up to Barbarillo to keep this one going. And Echeverse is getting better as this goes on. Good inside drop ball for strike 1. Outside, 1-1. Should Barbarillo reach, Yusuf Davis would be the next batter. And then back to the top of the order. Echeverse doesn't want to have to worry about that. Just off the corner. And it's 2-2. The Northeast Drillers looking to move on here at the USA Softball National Championship. Matthias Echeverse gets the call. Comes set, delivers. And the count goes full. And of course it does. We've had nothing but close games here all weekend. Down to the last inch, down to the last pitch, all the time. And Bartarillo will put the tying run on base, earning himself a walk. And just like last night, for the Bear Creek Express, it's not over till it's over. Yusuf Davis, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. And he gets into it. It's high and deep, but Makia's got room and makes the catch. Some hope extinguished. And the Northeast Drillers will come all the way through the losers bracket and put themselves in the championship final as Davis sends one 15 feet, 16 feet shy of the fence. And it will come to an end here this morning for the Bear Creek Express. The Drillers, meanwhile, will move on and face the Bear Creek Gremlins as they try to run the Bear Creek Gauntlet in South Bend this morning. We're going to take a break, 25, 30 minutes away from first pitch here on Softball Premier TV, USA Softball TV. Don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a snack and a drink, and I'll meet you back here in a few minutes.
North Nation Drillers 2, Bear Creek Express 1. Good game, gentlemen.